All right, so we've gotten a couple things going on tonight. I've kind of figured out a lot of this voice stuff. Here we go. Move this over here. So right now we're going to learn about Adobe Illustrator. Again, this is a very powerful vector graphic program that we use. When I teach students this, what I tell them, I said, you have to think logos, graphic designs, and posters that don't require like photographs. So when you create something in Photoshop, you're creating something in RGB. And so that's like pixel to pixel. And if you blow it up really big, you see every single little pixel. When you create something in Illustrator, though, it's a vector graphic. So it's making it more of a math problem. So here's a point here, here's a point here, and there's a solid line between point and point. So there's no actual pixels. So that's what I really like about Adobe Illustrator. Of course, when I first was introduced to Illustrator, I said, oh my gosh, who made this program? It's a horrible program. But then I had to teach myself how to use it. And once I learned how to use it and how I was going to do different things, I thought it was really a great thing. So I'm just going to kind of introduce some interface stuff here with Adobe Illustrator. I'll start off again. It has almost the same interface as Photoshop. So let me go ahead and create a new file. And I'm just going to start off. I'm going to print something and let's make it, I don't know, let's make it inches. I don't want to mess with picas. And let's just do 4 inches by 4 inches. Now, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. And let's just make a camera icon. And then icon. Okay, so say I'm going to make a social media post or a website, and I just need to make a nice little icon of a camera, and I want it to have a nice shape. So I'm just thinking shapes. I'm going to make things in a shape. I don't need to have any bleeds, and well, I'm not going to worry about explaining bleeds. But the big thing is CMYK. It's very important to know because if I make it into CMYK, eventually it's going to go onto the web. I'm going to set a color, and how it looks on the web is going to how it's going to look in a print, and it's going to look in a brochure. So they're all the same colors, and that's very important. I create everything that I do in 300 ppi. I very rarely create something in lower res. I'll export it as a lower res. Mainly because if I know that it's going to go onto a website, I'm going to go down at 72 because most computer monitors read at 7296 dpi, and you don't need 300 ppi. I just set everything up at 300 ppi in case I am going to end up printing it. There's also more settings that I can go with. I'm not really going to do anything else over here. I've already created the name, so what I do is I hit Create Document. Now I have a blank square document, 4 inches by 4 inches. If I hit Command R, I've added rulers. I can change these rulers to picas or inches. So we're just going to leave it as inches. Before I do anything else, as I tell all my students, I'm just going to hit Save As. And we're going to go back into that folder. We don't want to go there. We want to go over here into the Swartz, Snap Lens, and come on. There we go, and Fun Created. And so now it's already named, so Camera Icon AI, and then we're just going to save it as Illustrator 20. We can change it as we want to make compatibility, so I always just leave it as is. Okay, so I want to make a photo icon, a camera icon. So I'm going to hit Command 0, and it's going to square everything up for me. First shape I'm going to create is I'm going to make a circle. And so what I can do here is, now right now I can make any color circle I want. I hold the Shift key down, and I am making a big old circle here. So right now it is white on black. So I have a black stroke here. I want to get rid of the stroke. And let's make this I don't know, let's make it a green. And so when we go over here to the green, I'm just going to center this and center this. I'm going to make sure that it's aligned to the artboard. So center, center. what I want to do here. And then I'm going to go over to my layers. And I'm just going to sew round underscore circle. So I want to keep my layers nice and organized. I can also go up here to my up to my this is properties. And so I want it to be transparent a little bit. So I'm just going to drop that opacity down. Let's go 60% for now. So we're just going to go right now 60%. So if I put it over something, you're going to be able to see through it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off that, and I'm going to lock that layer. So now when I go to try to move something, I can't do anything. But I also can't do anything at all with this. So I need to create another layer, and I'll just call this a camera. And we're just going to go nice and simple. Now, if you want to get inspired on how to make a camera, let's do something just really, really simple. So let's make it a rounded rectangle. And I'm just going to make, if I hold the shift key down, it's going to make a square. I'm going to make probably a nice little square like that. Let's make the camera. Let's make it black. And actually, let's do this. Let's make the outline white. And we'll make the color itself clear. So right now we're just going to do a nice clear outlines because I want you to be able to see everything here. So by making it clear like this, if I go to grab it, it's not going to grab. I have to grab it on the path here. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I have to hit this. So if I try to grab it in here, it's not going to grab, but I have to grab it in here. Okay, so now I can also center this, center, and center. If I want to make the camera a little bit smaller, I can do that. And we'll put it right here. Make it a little bit smaller. And because I am going to make a camera, I'm going to make another round top here. And I'm just going to put those together right there. And you know what? Let's do this. Let's highlight both of those. We're going to leave it white, and let's leave it black here. So now we have a black camera. So I want you to see here that we have two shapes. And I want this shape and this shape to be centered on each other. So I'm going to hit the shift key and hold them. And I'm just going to hit shift right there. I kind of like, let's see, I can just mess with the shape a little bit. Right there. And I don't know, make it like an old-timey camera a little bit. And I'll just center again. Okay, oops, wrong one. Control Z, Command Z. I just wanted to do the center right there. And so let's make a shape out of this. So let's go over here to our shape builder. And we're just going to grab this and pow, 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 and pow. We have a shape. Nice and cool. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to make some round. We're going to make a round little thing. Make some lenses here. We'll do a lens right there. And then what I can do also is I can hit the Alt key or the Option key. Oops, I got to do that. Option key. And then what I can do here is right there is not doing anything. So I'm going to hit this. I'm going to hit the Option key. Control Z, sorry. Option key, I'm going to make a new one here. I'm going to hit the Command key. And we'll do this. Make it easier. So you guys can see. We're going to hit copy, edit, paste in front, and then we're going to hit shift, and we're going to hit M. Come on. Shift, Shift Option, and I'm just going to make a little like that. So now I have a little lens. And so what I'll do here also is I'll take my camera itself, lock it down. I want these to be centered on each other, so center and center. And then I'll take that and I'll kind of put that in the center there. And let's see. Nice little camera. And we can take that inside here, and let's go back up to our properties here. Maybe we'll drop that opacity down a little bit on both of those. So part of the creative process for me is a lot of times just, oh, let me try this, let me try that. I don't think I like that because the strokes are going to go down. So I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to leave that there. I think I want to add a little trigger button right there for that camera. And then what I'll do is, let me do this. Let me do I'm going to do a hard square right here. That'll be my little trigger. And then I'll come back over here to my layers, unlock that, and I'll lock these two because I don't want to mess with those. And then I'll take that, and then I'll come back over to my little shape tool, and I'll just pow, pow, pow. And now I have like a little camera. It's a nice, cute little thing. Now, if I wanted to, I could take and highlight this shape right here, and I could probably come here to the shape tool and hold down that. But see, what happens is it takes that away. So I don't want to take that shape away. I want to leave those two shapes there. Now I can also take this right here and hit the Shift key and add all those together, hit Command G, group them together. So now I have one big camera, and I can go into different spots with that camera. Now, what I could do also here is I can come up to the properties, and now I can come down with my opacity. And then I could change the opacity, and I could do a lighten. So if I wanted to, so I don't need to keep it black, but now if you look, my camera itself is now a gray camera. And so I thought that would be pretty cool. And then I can hit center and center again. So now it's centered. And then I can come back over here into my layers. And I have my camera and I have this. So now it looks like they're pretty good. I can probably make the square or my circle a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to hit Shift and Command. And then I'm just going to make everything center on each other right there. So now everything's centered. And so now, how do I want this to go out? Well, let me hit File and hit Save. That saves it for me. And then I can go to File. I can hit Export. Oops. Hit File. Hold it, hover over the Export. Export as. And I'm going to make it as a PNG. And right there, Fun Creative. And right here. Now, I'm going to make transparent. So I didn't make the camera itself transparent. So, and that's what I'm looking at right now, is I'm looking at that I didn't make the camera transparent. So maybe I want to go back here and I want to just hit my camera itself, and I'm going to come back up here to my transparency. Oh, come on. Thank you. Oh, I locked it. That's why I can't do it. So I'm going to lock that. Go to my camera. I want to highlight that, go up here, and then maybe, so I made it 60. So let's make that 60 also. So now I have a transparent. And now I'll just go ahead and I'll hit save again, file and export. Come on, I'm going too fast. And then I'll hit, there we go. So now you can see that it's transparent. I'm gonna hit okay. And how do I know it's transparent? Well, let's do something fun here. Let's see. Actually, let's open up something here. Let's open up a recent file. ISO PNG. I don't even know what that is. Oh, that's it. That's a different project. Let's see what we have here. Open recent shutter speeds, f-stops, light meter. Yeah, we don't need all that. Oh, let's do this. I know what I can do. I can do that. Let's take a picture. Let's just open up a picture. I'll take a picture of file, and I'm going to just hit open. I'll come back over to where I had my picture. Make it nice and simple. Okay. Ooh. Command T. That is so big. Let's do Command 0. Oh my goodness. I need to make it smaller. There we go. And I'll hit there we go. So then what I'll do here is I will take my icon and I'll hit here we go, and I'll just take and I'll hit File, and let me place my icon over there. So snap lens, fun created object, PNG. So now there you go. Now you can see it. Let's go big. So now you can see I made a transparent little icon. Nothing big and fancy. It's just a nice big shape that I just wanted to kind of show you a couple things that you can do with Illustrator. But notice I also brought up a photograph with Illustrator. So now I was able to create something from scratch. I was able to put a nice little dot, but it's transparent. Now at the same time, because it's on a new layer, I can even make it more transparent. See that? I can blend it in there a little bit more. I can even add some other effects to it and make it a paper effect and hit OK. So I can do all kinds of different things to it. I just am just not limited to anything. And then if I don't like what I did, I can just go back to that. All right, so hopefully that's a nice little quick introduction to Illustrator. There's so many things that you can do. Hopefully you'll be able to take out a couple of courses that I've done and really get to know Illustrator.